The books, they're designed to help kids with reading and to get them interested in STEM, hopefully, and to give them options for careers. Most Black children never heard of a Black microbiologist or an oceanographer or an inventor. My goal is to let them see that Black people, for one, have been doing things forever. It didn't start with Dr. Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? Since we set foot on the soil, we've been doing wonderful things, and they need to understand that they too can do any of these things, but they need to know that, there are Black people doing these things. I tell parents to watch your child. If they like playing in dirt, that might be the next famous anthropologist or something. I don't know. Take advantage of whatever their interests are, because there's a Black person that's done something in that field.
Yes.
I use the books to encourage kids to read. So that's the other thing. I also facilitate a Black History professional development class for educators to show them how to easily incorporate Black history into their curriculum. Because my famous line is, you can't teach what you don't know.
Right.
And it's not difficult if you have the tools to work with. And you do find there are a lot of Black folks that do not know their history, but we weren't taught, especially in California. If you didn't have a Black teacher and you didn't have one who knew their history, you weren't going to really learn about it. And then there's the problem of learning about the same 7 people every year for the past 50 years, right? So I have a thing about that. So I just try to do my piece to try to help children understand, because I say to teachers in that class, I keep hearing this thing that Black children do not like to read. Well, have you ever thought about it's what you're giving them to read? Because when they come into my bookstore, they get excited about seeing their little faces on the covers of books. I have parents who come back and say, oh my God, I cannot believe he actually read the book.